Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Staff Sergeant Barracott, and I'm going to give you a block of instruction on the Battle of Gettysburg. These are my audience members. Next slide. The Battle of Gettysburg. This morning, I'm going to talk to you guys about the purpose. The purpose is to provide you knowledge and information on the most important and famous battle of the Civil War era. Next slide. The leaders. As you can see, I have the Confederate Army leader, which was, does anybody know? Robert E. Lee. And the Union Army leader, which was, anybody know? No, ma'am. Sir. You had Robert E. Lee and you had M. Meade, General M. Meade. Next slide. And July 1st of 1863 was the first day of battle. The battle was fought at Gettysburg because of the area of the road system. It had nothing to do with the shoes. So if you know anything about the shoe myth, I'm going to explain that further. The population of Gettysburg, the town of Gettysburg, was about 2,000, and it was at the rise. It was rising. It was becoming a very, very well populated town. They had 10 major roads leading to that city itself. There was no shoe factory at all present in Gettysburg. The myth started with General Henry Heth in 1870 when he addressed Congress. The first day of battle was much larger engagement than it generally portrayed. First day battle consisted of McPherson's Ridge, Oak Hill, Oak Ridge, and Seminary Ridge, Barlow Knoll, and in and around the town. It involved about approximately 50,000 soldiers. 15,500 soldiers were killed, wounded, or mortally wounded, or escaped or left due to the battle. The first day was considered the 12th bloodiest battle in the Civil War area. Next slide, please. The second day, July 2nd, 1863. The second day battle was the largest and costliest of all the 3 days. The battle consisted of Devil's Den, Little Round Top, the Wheat Field, the Peach Orchard, Cemetery Ridge, Trostle Farm, Colts Hill, and Cemetery Hill. The total was about 100,000 soldiers. That's combined from the north and the south. 20,000 soldiers were killed, captured, or went missing during that battle. Of 120 generals present of Gettysburg, 9 were killed or mortally wounded during the battle. The Confederate Army sustained 6 deaths of generals during that war, and the Union consisted of 5 for that war. No other battle has ever claimed as many generals in our history. Next slide, please. Day 3, the last battle of Gettysburg. Pickett's charge involved 12,000 Confederate soldiers, but Franklin's battle had over 20,000. So don't think that Pickett's charge was the largest charge of soldiers. It was large but grand, but no means it was the largest battle. Gaines' Mill had over 50,000 soldiers present for battle. It also received this day on July 3rd, 1863, 200 gun bombardments from the Union soldiers. It was also not considered the largest bombardment during that war. At Petersburg, there was over 400 cannon fires during that war. At 3 p.m. on July 3rd, 1863, 11,000 steady and disciplined Confederate soldiers, led by General Pickett, met General Meade's Union forces. Gaps were blown by the Union's cannons, but the discipline closed the gaps in their lives and kept advancing toward the Union. Surviving rebels had to conduct hard hand-to-hand combat once they broke the line of the Union soldiers. They sustained significant losses, and they took control of the line but couldn't hold it. They either had 2 choices, surrender or run back through the bombardment of their cannons. Next slide. Over 4,000 soldiers of the Confederate side were captured during that battle. While the Gettysburg battlefield is well preserved, there are still numerous parcels to be saved. Abraham Lincoln, after that battle of the 3-day battle of Gettysburg, came out with an address and addressed one of the bloodiest battles during the Civil War, and he said it had to stop. The battlefield now consists of one of the best learning events for historians whenever they want to capture any key points during that battle. Next slide. So today, we have Fort Robert E. Lee, dedicated Fort Lee in Virginia, and also Fort Meade, which is also located in Virginia by Fort George G. Meade. Next slide. So in summary, more than 30,000 dead or wounded soldiers happened in those three days. It was only lasted a 3-day battle. Battle of Gettysburg is by far the costliest battle of the Civil War. 40,000 Confederates were captured. 70% of General Pickett's men lost. Only half of the Union were lost that day. Next slide. Do I have any questions? Well, this concludes my brief.